Curse of the Sea Rats is a beautifully hand-animated metroidvania that is playable up to 4 players, and besides its flaws, it's still really enjoyable. You play as one of these 4 prisoners that have turned into rats by the pirate witch Flora Byrne, and the only way to turn back into humans again is to capture the witch and save the son of the admiral. Each 4 of these characters has their own skills and moves, and their special moves or spells are based around a specific element, like water or fire. I really enjoyed their design and their different skill trees. We had to adapt sometimes, because our strengths and moves were so different. Like our dash ability wasn't even the same, for example. We were a bit overwhelmed by the size of the map and the amount of freedom you have in choosing your path. There are so many screens where you can go in 3 different ways, and I'm pretty sure we didn't really play this game in the right order. There were many moments we felt like the earlier bosses we had faced were a lot harder to beat. And sometimes some bosses appeared in a cutscene like they were ready to fight us, but they were already defeated by us.
And the shadows take pity on me.
I don't really see this as a bad thing, but it was a bit weird for sure. I also must admit we both thought that the difficulty was a lot harder at the beginning of the game. One hit could deal like 50% of our health, and we died a lot during the first few boss fights. But after leveling up a bit and unlocking new perks and skills, the game became really easy and we almost never died again. Except for this part, where the platforms disappear when one of you steps on it. Luckily there are a decent amount of save points, and these ancestral doors that are basically a way to teleport to a different part of the map. So dying in the early stage of this game wasn't that time consuming, but it was a lot to take in, and we felt a bit lost sometimes. The overall level design and the combat is nothing special. There aren't that many movement-based abilities, so the level design was a lot of basic platforming. And you can't move while you attack, so the combat felt a bit sluggish. There were many moments where we couldn't dodge an attack from an enemy, because our character had to finish their combo first before we could move. And this was a bit annoying. There were also a lot of loading screens, and sometimes they were even needed to load in a screen that only contained a treasure chest. It felt a bit unnecessary, and it really broke the flow of the game. But it's just a minor issue we had with this game's design. One thing that really bothered us was the fact that some save points or ancestral doors were at strange locations, or they were easy to miss. So we came across them a lot later into the game, like at a time we didn't need them anymore. And this was really annoying. Hopefully the developers can add in like a bluish glow at the entrance to indicate there's a save point or an ancestral door in a later patch, because that will be really helpful. The overall presentation is really great though. The visuals are stunning and the animations are really fluid and well drawn. The voice acting was enjoyable, but not always of the same quality.
So you are the magical entity inside the amulet.
The music was pretty relaxing and exciting when it needed to be. And all the different environments were very detailed and had some nice Easter eggs. There are also a lot of side quests to complete. They are sadly just fetch quests, but they were a welcome addition and they added something to the lore of this game.
Hey you, buddy, over here.
The boss fights are a lot harder in the earlier stages of the game, but they always were a spectacle to fight. And their design was unique each time, so we were always excited for the next one. There's also a lot of different consumables, but we barely use them, because some perks give you the same buffs, and when you play with 2 players or more, you can't die if the other stays alive until you respawn again. So the shops felt a bit unnecessary, sadly. So in general, Curse of the Sea Rats is not really a groundbreaking Metroidvania with super innovative gameplay and level design, but the addition of co-op and even multiplayer makes it pretty special. It has some flaws without a doubt, but the overall presentation and the fun boss fights make sure it's still a really enjoyable time. I haven't tried to play the single player mode, but I reckon it will also be still enjoyable, but probably a bit less special. I highly recommend to play this game with your friends, and I'm sure you will have a fun time despite the generic gameplay and the flaws I've just mentioned. So be ready to embark on a fun adventure to save the son of the Admiral and uncover the many secrets of this island while you try to break the curse that has turned you into a rat.